Hello everybody, thanks for coming here today. My name is Louise, and together with Nick, who I met here at the wonderful 1-month cohort, we're building Coachnova. Coachnova is a new platform that really wants to augment human coaches, particularly leadership and executive coaches, to build a new operating model that has a lot more impact, so it can help a lot more people, and also open up new revenue streams. So why I decided to pick this topic is because of my background. I used to be an executive at pretty large companies. I had executive coaching myself, and it really helped to propel my career. But if you kind of look now at where the world is going, particularly as knowledge workers, as most of us are, a lot of people are kind of scared what is happening to their job, and there's going to be a lot of change in the way work is being done. But one thing that actually Professor Stuart Russell said is one of the key thought leaders, and it was actually today on a new release of the Diary of the CEO podcast. Highly recommended to watch this one. And he basically said that one of the most important jobs moving forward is coaching, because there's a lot of transition. Actually, it's a $20 billion industry already today. It's grown 15% year on year. But it's basically stuck in an integrated model. It's basically you hire people that could charge anywhere between 200 to 400 euros an hour. You meet them, let's say, every 2 or 3 weeks, and basically all the work you have to do in between. So it's a very inefficient model, whereas there is a lot of deep knowledge in those beautiful brains of these coaches, but it's not being made accessible. So this is really what we're trying to do with Coachnova, is to basically democratize access to great coaches. So if we move to the next slide, Sean. We all know, gyms. Gyms are great. You can have a subscription for a gym anywhere between 30 to, let's say, 100, maybe 150 euros a month. You can go to the gym. If you want to have something special, you can hire a personal trainer. Basically, what we would love to do is to build mental and personal development for people also in the subscription service, anywhere between 75 and 150 euros a month. So that's very different than the price points that you currently have. So if we go to the next slide, we're going to show you a couple of ideas of what we already built in the 4 weeks that we've been part of Sean's program. Basically what we're going to do first, and we're launching this actually already in January, is that what we're going to do is to have a proprietary methodology to record the coaching session, then turn that into really deep notes, notes and nudges as well, that kind of are helping the coachees, the clients of the coach, in between the sessions to really deepen their coach journey. And this is going to be run by AI, but the coach is always in the loop, the human in the loop kind of model, we call it. So this means that you can deepen your coaching journey significantly, but also it opens up a new model, because our AI is going to train on all these meeting notes, and we estimate it needs between 4 to 6 sessions to have a really deep, understanding of that the sessions itself, and then we're going to have a high fidelity ranking that allows us then to coach in between, but also after all the coaching sessions. So that means that you can basically open up that mental gym subscription after you've done anywhere between 4 to 6 sessions. So this is a really new model. We're testing it right now already in beta, and we're pretty confident that we can launch this to a large group of coaches by January. This is basically a screenshot from the platform that we are building currently. So what happens is that we have integration with Google Calendar and also other calendar platforms are adding there. I hope you can see it. It's a bit hard to read, but basically there you're going to have meeting notes, and you're going to have of the sessions, and you can kind of send that to your, as a coach, you can keep it for your own diary, or you can share it with your coachee. But it's basically building up this coaching intelligence over time. So this is one part of it, so it's smart session capture. So this is what we have right now in beta already. If we go to the next slide, you basically get also coach-controlled nudges. So there's a lot of intentions that are being discussed in the coaching session. So we're going to be able to transcribe that into a library of different types of nudges. And then we're going to present it to the coach. They can edit it and send it directly to the coachee. The coachee can respond to this, via email initially, but we want to turn this into some kind of app or maybe an integration with WhatsApp. So then they can have kind of a safe environment where they can go back and forth with these nudges. And it's also giving feedback back again to that coaching intelligence that we're building. If we go to the next slide, this is the third one. And this is really unlocking that gym subscription again that I talked about earlier. So then you're going to have an always-on AI. And this is really powerful because we interviewed about 50 executive and leadership coaches. I started with that interview process already prior to this cohort. And what there came about is that a lot of people enjoy doing the coaching, but it's usually kept at anywhere between 6 to 10 sessions. Also because it's expensive to do it. I mean, if you just calculate on the back of the napkin, 300 euros an hour. If you have to self-fund it, you're looking at $3,000. So it's a very kind of elite type of thing. And once you've done that, you're very budget conscious. Like, do I want to continue? But the thing is, then you build up this whole relationship together with your coach, and it's basically not accessible after that anymore. So what we're doing is we make that accessible, and that turns into that gym subscription. So this is basically the always-on AI, and this is then an example of kind of how that interaction will follow. It's a little bit like what you get right now on ChatGPT or Claude or any kind of other LLM that you're using, but it's highly proprietary, it's very safe, and it makes sure that it's highly personalized. Plus, the coach is always there to kind of look, as a kind of safeguard as well. So anyway, this is then the third part of what we're building. I think we can go to the next slide. So why us? Nick and I met, through this cohort. So this, I think, is already a huge win. But basically, why we're doing this, we both had, very good experiences working with coaches and with therapists throughout our career. We believe that mental health is something that should be available to everybody, but it's not something that is, available, and leadership development as well. So we are very passionate to kind of make this, democratize access basically to this. Anything else to add here?
You guys have a working application, right? Is it possible to show that?
Yeah.
Or, yeah?
Actually, this is a nice segue.
Okay.
The next one.
Okay, perfect.
So I think the next slide is actually, if we have time, basically for Nick to kind of show a little bit on the background, what he already did as far as the technology, because everything that you saw right now, including the PowerPoint, has been generated by, by Claude AI, by Cursor. Basically, we've got the whole tool set integrated with GitHub, and I couldn't even pronounce these three things, in one sentence prior to starting this cohort. So at least I can talk the talk. But actually, Nick really walks the walk in this regard, so he can show a little bit behind the hood of what that looks like. Do
you want to actually first maybe share that story you told me about the dog?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So this is my dog, Bo, and I love walking my dog. But when you're, founding a new company, it's 60, 70 hours a week that you're kind of on there. But what I really enjoy, because this is my third startup, I had two before, I had a big exit, I had one that turned into a 7-digit profitable company, so I've done it. This is my third project, and I want this to be very meaningful, and I don't want to work 60, 70 hours a week. But the good thing is, you don't have to, I feel, because I'm still thinking about a lot of what I'm doing here, but I have a lot of time to actually walk the dog, take my phone, open up Claude AI, and there is so much memory on everything that we're building together that I can continue to work on it. So basically the website that I can also show you later on was basically done while I was walking the dog over the last 2 weeks. And that's just kind of magic how that happens. I have to say though, once you have it ready, I already have about 30 to 40 coaches I talk to a lot about the product development, and I put them in front of 6 of them this week. They give a lot of good feedback, so it's not that the website is perfect, but at least you have something tangible to show, like I would say an 80% version. You iterate together with your audience, and then you get to something nice looking pretty quickly. And this is in my previous ventures, the kind of level where we are now after a month, that would have taken 6 months. I would have need to raise $500,000 in order to kind of build the whole team. That is basically like new here. So it's, for me as an idea person, this is a beautiful time, because you're basically leapfrogging your idea into practice in such a way, and you can run your company very differently because we're now self-funding. We'll probably need to raise some money at some point, but we do it much later at better valuations. So it's a very new way of building businesses. So I can wholeheartedly recommend anybody do the course with Sean, and then actually, start building your idea in a very new way, because this is a wonderful time to be alive as a founder. You still want to show something?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Louise, for an amazing introduction. You've heard multiple times my name already, so everyone. I wish you can come with you on stage immediately.
Yeah.
Sean, I'm requesting to share.
Yeah, you should be able to.
All right. So I want to show you a bit of behind the curtains, how it all works, how the product works as well. So we have more or less two components. We have a front end, so website facing landing page.
Making me smaller.
It's all right.
I was trying to fix it, but maybe not.
So if you don't see something, just let me know, please.
Sorry.
All right. So what you see on the screen, it's our working application already. So a coach logs into our app. They would see their total clients, maybe some recent clients that they talked about. And by the way, this is a very early stage work in progress. So wish me luck. It's a live demo. Woohoo! It's gonna probably not work. So just setting up the expectations. But yeah, let's find out. So we kind of started with, okay, what value can we deliver to the coaches? And first of all, it's obviously how do I get those insights from multiple coaching sessions? Maybe I run with my clients for multiple months already. So how can I draw these insights? And the first thing to enable it to actually start gathering your data with your clients and transcribing your coaching sessions, uploading maybe materials that you have, uploading your notes about your clients. So the first thing that it's an optional thing. You can directly connect your calendar to our platform, and we have here already done the full Google integration calendar. I'll show it to you how it will look. Microsoft Outlook is currently in the progress, but I think we are there in 2 days. So you see here already my Google Calendar is connected, and I have some basic configuration. For example, how my recording mode name would look like. I currently call it just my first name, second name, AI. Good enough for now. I got this idea of an underlord, but people say it's too technical. AI underlord. No takers, alright. So, if we go under calendar, you will see that it's a fully integrated and synchronizes with my calendar that I do and work with live. So, I would just switch to my calendar, how I would schedule a session with the client. I would probably select some time slot, give it a name, session with Nick. Nick is gonna coach Nick, interesting. I would obviously invite my client over email. I would add probably Google Meet. Maybe put some description, maybe not, let's save it. And send the invitation to my client. So when I would return now to our platform, hit the synchronization. Eventually this button, synchronization button, is just there for the demo purposes, but eventually it listens in the real time all of the updates. So you see here already we have a session with Nick. It starts 6:30 p.m. So it's actually ongoing already. I can start the recording and maybe jump on the call immediately from the application. So, just checking, I hope my calendar is working, yes. So I'm being forwarded to a session with the client, how it would be recording. And now moment of truth, yes, demo worked. So I have here my Nick Ponomar AI, so I can just submit it to the session, and this component will draw all the notes, will do the recording, analyze in the real time my voice and things like that. However, we have not implemented the voice analysis yet, but it's a feature that we really strive to add. And at some point when I finish my session, I would probably just end this call. And the platform in real time already sees that it is recorded. I can directly go to the session, and you see it's currently in the process. So the API behind the server works to analyze the transcript. But I could have also just upload my past session. Maybe I have a client that I had like multiple sessions already. I've used maybe Fireflies or maybe Gemini transcript with them, and I can directly upload it to the platform as well. Select my Marcus example client, upload the session. And basically what happens right now, the session has been uploaded successfully. AI is going to pick that up, analyze all of the data based on the history of this client, and the history and the insights from previous sessions, and give me some insights in the current session. So I should have received an email. Or maybe it's still analyzing. Yeah. So AI notes generation is currently in the process. And voila, I should have gotten an email as well. Yeah. Some emails saying that session notes are ready. So this is what Luis was talking about. We strive to keep always a coach in the loop. So we would never send anything to a client. We would never send any data to our APIs without client consent. So we have this also on the web page that we can probably show a bit later. And as a coach, I can now go and analyze, read through the session. So it's an example transcript. It's not a real person, Marcus. It's just someone that we created for a demo. But it has some summary, some key insights, some coaching observations, so insights that are only for the coaches, and then maybe some ideas on what you can focus on the next session, and maybe some suggestions as well for the nudges. So what kind of messages can I schedule from the platform to send during this week, maybe on some specific date. So for example, there is some 101 scheduled for Marcus, and this is going to be a very time-sensitive nudge that we can schedule with the platform. And some commitments that are made in this session that we can talk as well in the next session, in the next coaching session. Yeah, if I'm happy with those notes, I can. If not, I can either regenerate them fully and maybe give specific instructions, or I can just, edit them as I want to, and at some point just approve them. As soon as they are approved, I can either send client-specific notes to my client, or I can just share a link to our platform and give it to the client directly. Let's send him an email. Yes, at least one thing didn't work with this demo. Now I'm happy. Now I just realized, since it's a development instance, obviously security here is a major aspect. So we block any access by default outside. I now realized it's my work email it's my other email that I had to whitelist before sending anything. So that is also the reason why it didn't work. But if I would go on the platform, let's just open it, how Marcus would get his notes. Yeah, so here's my session summary. I talked to Nick on December 4th. Here's some, insights, my commitments that we discussed, some, ideas and things to reflect on. So Marcus can exercise and integrate his coaching sessions actually during his until the next session. It might be 2 weeks. Usually if I talk to my coach, I really cannot remember what we were talking about 2 weeks ago, but if I get this constant feedback and like some tangible insights during the week, I would be probably able to integrate it way more efficiently. So that's it from me. Louisa, if you have some words or anything we forgot to show on the website.
Yeah, we've got the whole front end, so this is kind of the back end of the platform. It's more the technical stuff. We also have a front end of, how actually the platform looks like. And then also we're launching our website next week. We currently have a landing page, but it's not, about this. So I really want to say within 4 weeks, we've been able to do so much together, which is unprecedented. So you're looking at like creating basically what Fireflies and others are doing, but make it hyper-specific for coaches. So there's a lot of prompt engineering behind this as well, which is based on coaching certification standards, the best practices in the type of coaching as well. And then on top of that, having the whole proposition validated also with 10 coaches, throughout that period. We have already 15 people committed. We're launching now for €100 a month, and we have a wait list of about 75 coaches as well. We're pretty bullish about launching this, and I think what we learned the last month really helped us to propel the company, for my feeling, into kind of the stratosphere, because I've done this before, as I said, and this is really amazing. So if you have any questions, I think my LinkedIn is at the end, but anyway, my name is Louise Doorn, this is Nick Ponomar. Find us on LinkedIn if you want to connect, and thanks again, Sean, for enabling us.